talk to any expert, any nonprofit in town, and they will tell you just how big a problem human trafficking is in our state. But when it comes to the fight against trafficking, the numbers don't inspire confidence. According to the Human Trafficking Institute, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Nevada managed just one prosecution in 2019. Christina Vela of St. Jude's Ranch for Children says that lack of prosecution has been a problem for years.
I would say no. I think the decrease in prosecution or the ongoing low rates of prosecution is something we've been struggling with for a long time.
Why?
I think there's a lot of ways to answer the question.
So why is it so hard to arrest, charge, and convict traffickers? We asked U.S. Attorney Nicholas Trutanich that very question.
There's trauma bonding between the survivors of human trafficking and the traffickers. There's also a significant issue that we're dealing with right now, which is lawful access. We have phones, cell phones that are encrypted, Apple phones, other phones that have high technology that are encrypted and essentially warrant-proof.
Attorney Trutanich will be the first to admit the numbers when he took office last year weren't good. Now his office is getting creative to try and take more criminals off the street.
The Al Capone type of approach, where you know that Al Capone had committed a crime and you got him on tax evasion. Well, we're doing that with traffickers as well. Just last month, we announced Project Veronica, which is a domestic violence initiative to go after domestic abusers who have guns. In
talking to the attorney, it's clear trafficking is a priority in 2020, not only in the courtroom. The U.S. Attorney's Office has given $66 million in grants to fight trafficking, research solutions, and help house victims. He ended our interview with a promise to viewers: more action this year.
We need to do better to match the needs of the community, and we need to hold victims accountable, and we will.
John Trainer, News 3.
Laura Bess was both shocked and relieved when she was diagnosed with a desmoid tumor back in November, preparing for what could be a lifetime of chemotherapy, but glad that she finally had some answers after years of experiencing pain.
I have something that can kill me. If it continues to grow, then I can die.
Bess has a tumor the size of a grapefruit inside her stomach.
We want to just make it to where it doesn't get any bigger, because to have surgery for me is I'm inoperable, because it's connected to my major vital organs.
It's not the only pain she's battling.
I have it because I have FAP, familial adenomatous polyposis. My father has it too. It's a genetic mutation in our ABC gene. Myself, I've had precancerous in my colon, which I had my colon removed in 2014, and I'm still precancerous in my duodenum.
Every day she experiences a long list of symptoms.
I have nausea, vomiting. I didn't know why I couldn't sleep. I found out it's insomnia. I have rectal bleeding. Again, I'm in pain all the time.
While desmoid tumors are not cancerous, they can invade nearby tissue like cancer, causing extreme pain, and they can also be fatal.
It's serious. It messes with our lifestyle, the way we live.
And COVID-19 hasn't made things easier. Bess has to be extra careful because of her weakened immune system.
I'm not able to travel. I'm not able to do things with my grandchildren like I would like to go to public places. I do go out to the store, to my daughter's home, but I'm pretty much in my house.
This challenging journey has included moments of hope. You became engaged recently?
I went to the doctor, and that day he proposed to me when I came home. So I was told that day that I was going to start chemo. And so that was a sad moment for me. And for him to, propose to me was like awesome. It made my day.
I'm Tiffany Lane reporting.
That's right. Good evening, everybody. Behind me is where the people who keep our hospitality industry running learn their craft. Jill Biden has been here before.
I'm so happy to be here with all of you.
To COVID-19. This time, this campaign visit is virtual. And the reason she zoomed in was to hear stories from frontline culinary workers, all women today, who are working during COVID. Stella Calorum, bottom left, works at a local hotel. She got called back in June and tested positive in July.
But I ended up in a hospital 10 days after. And after I tested positive, yes. And unfortunately, I brought it all home to my family.
The Culinary has been clobbered by COVID. 49 of its members or their family have died. 50% of its 60,000 members are still out of work in an industry still being punished by a pandemic. For the Biden campaign, this week has been an opportunity to show a contrast with the president.
We're developing a vaccine in record time. The other administration would have been years, and we're almost there.
Who packed thousands into a business Sunday in Henderson with a socially distancing Democratic ticket who believes Donald Trump botched COVID and his Nevada rallies put thousands at risk.
We really had no national leadership, right, to tell us what to do, or they didn't. People couldn't get tests.
For both campaigns, polls indicate a Nevada contest that is tightening. What Jill Biden heard today was the human cost and fear of working in a pandemic.
It's like, will I get it again and bring it home? Yeah, it's hard.
When Darren Waller enters Allegiant Stadium on Monday, he will be celebrating 3 years of sobriety. It was during his time with the Baltimore Ravens that he was suspended twice for violating the NFL substance abuse policy. One of those suspensions was for a full year and without pay in 2017. That's when Waller says the league paid for him to enter rehab. And now the Raiders tight end is working so that addicted youth can have the same access.
3 years sober, congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Did you worry about coming to Las Vegas with a nickname like Sin City?
Yeah. Initially, in my recovery, it was like to go to a place like Vegas. I thought it'd be something that I couldn't go. I just couldn't be there. And now that the fact that I'm actually living here and I feel at peace with that, it's crazy. I didn't think that I'll be able to do a lot of things. I felt like I was just going to be like this piece of glass, just like, can't go to too many places. I'm just fragile. But now it's just like I feel stronger than ever. I feel more rooted than ever in my program and, my spiritual principles. So I'm excited to be in this community and, change the moniker about it. Change, it doesn't have to be about sin. It could be about, positive things. Integrity. People live here with integrity. People live here. Honesty, vulnerability. Like people live good lives here. I want to represent those people in this community in that way.
Starting in 2022, what is it that you're going to be doing?
I like to be able to fund treatment for people, for families, to be able to go to, maybe a nicer facility they may not have been able to go to before, because I know I benefited from the NFL allowing me to go to an outstanding facility, one that I wouldn't have wanted to or been able to afford at the time. They just saw my track record at the time and just, all the tests that I was failing and all the things that, that I was doing. And they were like, hey, this is an option for you. We really think you need to do this. Of course, my pride was in the way at the time, but then once I kind of let that go, it was to accept that help. It was, the driving force for the change I needed in my life. Now we're getting things off the ground and having our first event coming up in a couple weeks. So it's cool to see it actually get in motion. Beyond the Wall event is on the 28th at Dragon Ridge Country Club. It'll be our first event in person, as well as a virtual link for people that want to be on virtually, just to get the energy going about the foundation, to inform people on the programs that will be involved, the practical steps that we're going to be taking to impact this community and really do what we're going to do.